Today's video podcast is from Jeremiah.
And it's about healing. Because someone needed to be healed this last month.
That would be me.
That is him.
Stay tuned.
And God is with us, the healed.
Amen.
Amen. Do-do.
Thank you, Art, for that rock and roll.
Rock and roll.
Thank you, and welcome back to Thankful for Us.
Thankful for
video
Us.
podcast. Can we do that? Podcast.
Yep, you did it.
All right. So today we are going to read, or Jenny's going to read a verse from the Bible, and we're going to discuss it
And how it relates to Mark.
to me.
Mark kind of picked this verse today. He wanted me to do one on healing.
We were down and out for a little while.
Down but not out.
No, that's right.
So this is Jeremiah 30:17.
Thank you, Jeremiah.
But I will restore you to health and heal your wounds, declares the Lord.
That was a nice short one, right?
It was nice and short, but it says it all,
Says
right?
a lot, yes. And why did I pick this?
Why did you pick this, honey? It has to do with why we had a little, again, another hiatus, right?
Hiatus?
Yeah.
They're like a hyena that
Yes, it's like
Hates
just
you?
like a hyena.
a hyena that
A hiatus. It means we had a little break. We took a little vacay. Oop, I think this is
But
causing
not
a
much
little
of a
crackle.
vacay, though.
Not much of a vacay. No. We took a little break.
I had a little incident with my gallbladder.
Yeah, him and his gallbladder weren't getting along very well anymore.
Yep.
And one of them had to go.
And it was not going to be me. So I woke up about 2 o'clock in the morning and had a little acid reflux.
You thought?
I thought. And turned into a emergency surgery to remove my gallbladder.
Right.
For it was inflamed and had a gallbladder stone.
Right. A gallstone. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I say this on my other channel, but listen to your body, right?
Right. Yes.
Yes. God gives us
Yep. So
bodies that
thank
help
you
us.
for all that helped me and
Yes,
the
we
prayers.
had lots of
I'm
prayers,
healing
I
very
know.
well. Thank you.
Yes.
And we're
Yes.
back. And but that was only the beginning, right?
Well, that was the second thing that happened,
That's
sort of.
right.
The first thing that happened was our daughter called us on the road. Thankfully, she was safe.
Yep.
But her car stopped moving on the road.
Right on the highway.
Right. Right.
And tranny went, right?
Yep.
A transmission.
Her $1,500 transmission.
Oh, thank you.
So that was the day before.
Right. That was the Monday. And then the Tuesday
Tuesday night is when you got sick, and it was
right.
actually Wednesday, I think, that you had the surgery.
Wednesday, then I was in the hospital for a day.
Just
right?
for one
was that
night,
the next
yeah.
day? Mm-hmm.
Because they send you right out, because, insurance won't pay for anything more
Right.
than...
And then, but I was up and walking around over the weekend, and then we got a little infestation of red army ants.
I think they're called fire ants.
Fire ants, yes.
But we didn't really get an infestation. I mean, we just had them out here on our sidewalk.
We were doing some cleaning outside. Yeah.
But we don't get fire ants that much, and we don't really know what to do to take care of them, other than we decided we would use some boiling water. But Mark thought his fun wasn't done.
No, so Ginny boiled some water and was afraid she might spill some on her toes.
Well, it sounds like I was being proactive because
you were wearing sandals, right?
I was wearing
Flip-flops.
slippers. Yeah.
I'll take it. I'm the man. Well, while I was pouring the hot boiling water on the army ants, I decided to pour some on my foot.
He was wearing tennis shoes, but they were just kind of the ones that just have like the I don't know, elastic or something on it. They weren't
The ones
very,
that don't tie on, that just slip on, the new
Right.
things.
yeah, those old man ones that just slip
Right.
on, right? And
What's her name? Has that commercial.
what's her name? Has that
Yeah,
commercial?
she does that cook show. The old lady. I don't know. But she
Oh.
does a commercial where you don't have to tie it. You know, she does flips and everything like that. And,
Martha Stewart.
yeah, she gets a tattoo of
Snoop Dogg.
Snoop Dogg. Yeah, those kind of shoes.
Yeah.
But they don't protect you from boiling hot water.
They do not.
No.
No.
So,
Neither did your socks. In fact, your sock, I think, melted to your
we had
skin.
to pull everything off. Mayday, Mayday.
Well, now, I had them put ice on it. I read later that you weren't supposed to put ice on it. You were just supposed to put something cold on it.
Oh,
But
really?
it worked. I mean, it helped.
yeah.
It,
Not
I've
the
always had-
butter. Don't put butter on
Don't
it.
put
butter
butter
doesn't
on it.
do anything.
and
No.
so he sat with ice on it for quite a while.
Because the burn actually keeps burning.
Right. I
your
learned
skin,
that.
right?
I learned that a long time ago, that it continues to burn inside
Right.
if you don't continue to put cold on it. I learned that when my mom got a bad burn years ago. So he put ice on it. He was pretty good about it. I think because he was already a little down from the surgery,
Right.
so he had to listen to me because he
Mhm.
knew if he didn't do it right.
Thank
then-
goodness I had a little help with some little pain pills, right?
Yeah, he still had some
Hydrocodone or something like that.
he still had a couple of pain pills left, so that kind of did double duty then for
Right.
his stomach and for his foot then. And but it turned out to be at least I didn't think it was as bad a burn until we saw it the next couple of days. I
Right.
think it turned out to be a little bit
Really
worse of a
bad,
burn
really bad.
than I thought it was at
So
first.
I really had to stay off my feet then.
Right. And he hasn't really been able to wear a shoe since then, have you? And that's
I've been
been
wearing slippers for the last
a couple
month.
weeks, maybe?
Yeah, 3 weeks, I
think.
think.
Yeah, has it been that long?
So they say things happen in threes. Well, ours happen in fours because then we noticed there was a leak coming out of the sink underneath the faucet,
Yeah.
soaking up all the wood underneath and everything. Looked like it was leaking for a long time.
Well, I took borax out from underneath the
Right.
sink, and I said, honey, this box looks wet.
Right.
But of course, then we still waited another couple of days to check it out. And poor Mark, couldn't crawl down there as easily because he had his tummy. And I wasn't going down there. I
Yeah.
wouldn't know what I was looking for if I went down there.
And it wasn't like a simple repair, of changing the hose or anything like that, or tightening a screw.
It was the faucet, right?
It was the faucet itself. It was one of those touch faucets where you just touch it and it goes on. But inside the mechanism or whatever, it was leaking and leaking bad. So we had to order a new one.
Right. So,
So we got one online, so it waited about another week.
right.
But now we're kind of a little worried about the floor now that the water
Yeah,
got underneath
I
it
think
because
the-
you really didn't see it.
Right. We didn't really see it until we got under there, but
Yeah.
now we can feel, I think the floor is warped.
Yeah, now that everything is drying, I think it's all making
Right.
not a good thing. But
So I think we're
Hey,
going to
we're
have
here,
to
though.
have new flooring in the kitchen.
yeah, maybe I might have to rip that up again. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah,
And we already need new flooring in our other places.
Yeah.
But that's not the point. The
No.
point is that God kept us through it all,
Yep.
and He kept us together. We didn't. We didn't fight our way out of that.
Yep. And weeks have gone by, and we're in good shape.
And we still, I mean, I think I still felt protected in all of that, even when, it's scary when your loved one is in a surgery,
Yeah.
but I knew that I wasn't alone. I knew that I could pray.
Mm-hmm.
I knew that God was right there with me, and I also knew that He was with Mark in the operating room. I prayed for the doctors. I prayed for him.
And we
And
felt pretty
others.
confident, I think, right? I don't think one time I was afraid of anything.
Weren't you?
Nah, it was like, you got to go to surgery. Oh yeah, okay.
Good. That's
so
good.
Didn't even second guess it.
In some ways, those surgeries that happen quicker, I think, are almost
better, right?
a little easier because you don't have time to think about it. I think when
that's right.
when you have weeks or months to think about a surgery coming up, I think you
Or
think
you
of
mention
everything.
it to somebody and they said, "Oh, you know what happened to her?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
they cut out the wrong leg. They cut her leg off instead of fixing her nose. You know, so
That'd be a pretty good one. If they can't tell your nose from your leg, you've got a pretty ugly nose, I'm going to say. I don't know. You really got, again, I'm going to say, you have to advocate for yourself or have someone there to advocate for you because they just listen to him scream.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, he's still in pain. Yeah. Can he have some more pain pills? Oh, okay, yeah. I mean, they weren't going to give him any except I think you have to verbally ask for them.
Really?
I guess it's because it's
That's
pain pills. I don't know.
Well, and their everyday job, I guess. You know.
And so they listen to people yelling?
Yeah, they hear the moaning, groaning all
well,
day.
and Mark is
know?
not exactly a quiet
They kind of
quiet person when he's in pain. Mark might be a quiet person otherwise, but when he's in pain, there was one time
everybody hears
it. The whole ER. In fact, one time that was when you had the hives that time. He was laying there, and Mark was laying there, and he was going, They just can't make it. I can't even make all the noise because you guys would pull out your earbuds. But he was making all kinds of noise. This doctor comes in, he goes, "What's all that about?" I said, "Ask him. He's in pain, I guess." I guess some people suffer in silence and some people do not.
Right. So Joshua tells us to...
Jeremiah.
Yeah. Not the bullfrog. Jeremiah the apostle.
I guess.
Right?
Jeremiah I don't think was an apostle, was he?
Who were the 12 that followed him? 12 apostles, right?
Yeah, but...
Was Jeremiah in it? No?
Oh, he might have been.
Somebody,
I don't know.
Yeah, I think they were all apostles.
Yeah.
All the writers here.
Well,
Matthew, Mark, Luke, John.
Yeah.
Simon. Huh?
Simon and Simon. We're watching the Chosen. So when this happened with Mark doesn't really like to listen or read. So we've been watching the Chosen instead of continuing on with our Bible as much.
Reading and,
so we've wanted to stay,
I like the visual effects.
He does anyway, but so we've been doing that more than actually reading the Bible. But it's interesting if any of you are thinking about what to watch. It's pretty biblical. The Chosen, I think, is pretty close to.
It's pretty accurate. Right?
Yeah, it's pretty accurate. I think.
I mean, I kind of get a kick out of some of the sayings they put in there.
Yeah, they kind of make it.
I don't think they said that back there. that was more of a 20th century lingo in there,
21st century.
21st century, right.
I think they make it that way maybe so some younger people will maybe try to listen to it.
And relate to it, yeah.
Or relate to it, yeah.
Which we are doing here is reading the Bible and
right.
See how it relates to today's life.
Right, right. So that has been interesting. Mm-hmm. That has been good for us.
The Chosen one, right?
It's
or just
the Chosen.
The Chosen.
Yeah.
And it's on...
well, for us it's on...
Prime, right?
Yeah, Amazon Prime.
Amazon Prime.
I think you can find it on different platforms.
Mm-hmm. Good one.
You can also get it
We're
on DVD.
Season 2.
I think. We're on season 2. There are 3 seasons, I believe. And I know we're behind. Some of you have probably already watched it. I never got into it, I think, because it's a little rough to get into, I think, at first. You kind of got to stick with it a little bit. Oh,
and a little hint, we put the caption on.
The captions on, because it is hard to pick up everything that they're saying.
Right.
I was told that by somebody who had watched it.
And it helps a lot, too.
It does help. Yeah. And Mark doesn't like captions normally.
I can't read it anyway, so.
Because he doesn't like to.
Because I can't see.
He doesn't like to read and listen and watch all at the same time.
Right?
And eat his potato chips.
Right.
And drink his Pepsi.
Uh-huh.
I'm not used to being the caretaker. Well, that's not completely true. I'm a caretaker,
but
not
caretaker. Mm-hmm.
I'm usually the one going in for surgery.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mark Mark has only had one other surgery, and that was for his nose years ago.
Uh-huh. Got a nose job. Believe it? I know. That was 1995. They really screwed it up. I look like a boxer.
You are a boxer, no?
Yeah, I
You
was
were.
when about young lad.
You gotta quit talking like that. That sounds very loud.
I'm very loud.
Well, when you go, young lad.
I'm sorry about that.
That's okay. Yeah, so things have been good, but that's
Yep,
why we took.
That's why we're with the healing.
Yeah, we took a little hiatus, and we also, we just want to let people know that God is always there,
Right.
even when things are tough. And things were not that tough for us. I mean, I'm sure it was really hard for you, but I mean, He was still with us.
Yeah,
we never
were
felt
lucky
alone.
That it was, and we all did the right thing, and we followed directions. Right?
We did?
Yeah, I did. Anyway,
He did.
Just relax, sit there.
Yeah, he slept the whole time. In fact, when he was coming out of surgery, the nurse was in there. She goes, "Has he been awake at all?" I said, "He's awake right now listening to us. He just doesn't like to open his eyes and converse with us." And he just went like this. Because he was awake then.
Well, I don't remember that.
He remembers it. I know he does. It was pretty funny.
So if you're down and out and you're need a little healing, the Lord is with you.
That's
Just
right.
Remember, tomorrow's another day.
Yep.
Next week is.
That's another
will be
thing that
here.
Chosen is good for. It shows a lot of how Jesus did a lot of healing when he was on earth. In fact, you
Yeah,
thought
you'd be
that part
surprised.
wasn't true, that he
Right.
did all that healing.
Uh-huh.
But he really did do a lot of
Right.
healing when he was here on earth.
Mhm.
And he does a lot of healing today.
Mhm.
We just don't see him.
You read
person.
in Matthew that he healed the whole city. Pretty
He
much.
healed, yeah.
Everybody that was
All the
hurting.
lame and all the sick,
Mhm.
yes. Jews and Gentiles.
That's
which
right.
I'm learning more about that too, how it was different for the Jews and the
Sure.
Gentiles.
A lot
I
of
never.
hatred, a lot of different
Mhm.
anti this, anti that,
Mhm.
even back then.
Mhm.
And if you think about the Bible and everything, they had a lot of that.
They
right,
did.
going on, still going on. Yeah,
They did.
slavery and stuff like
Slavery.
that.
Mhm.
The women.
Mhm.
Hey, be good to me. I'll give you 3 of these ladies.
Right.
You can keep them too.
Right.
You know?
Right. Right. And a lot of the prostitution that you hear about in the Bible, scholars say that it wasn't just prostitution. They were probably actually human trafficked,
Right.
sex trafficked,
Right.
not just that they went out to earn
Uh-huh.
money, which a lot of prostitution is not actual just a woman saying, "Oh, I'm going to go make some money doing this."
Right,
It's
right,
really
right. Yeah.
somebody that's forced to do
Yeah,
it.
stay tuned for that one. It's going to be a good one.
Right.
So,
Right. And, it's important. It's really important.
Yeah.
I know it's hard to talk about. I know it's hard to think about, but it's so important. So we'll talk about that one next time.
All right.
So,
Well, thanks for joining us.
Yes.
And we'll see you next time.
bye-bye.
Bye. Love you, honey.
Love you too.
Take it away, Mark.